Meanwhile, we have been following these overnight developments out of Raleigh, where 5 people have been killed, 2 have been left injured, and following a mass shooting.
It's the latest in a string of incidents this week in which police officers were either killed or wounded. Naomi Ruckham joining us live this morning with the latest on this investigation and the suspect who has been taken into custody.
Good morning, Naomi. If you will, tell us exactly what happened and what do we know this morning about the suspect?
Well, John and Abby, though police do have a young suspect in custody, they have not released any information on why this tragedy happened. We expect to learn more during a news conference later this morning, but right now, the Raleigh community is in mourning. Gun violence hit Raleigh, North Carolina, after a shooting in a normally quiet residential neighborhood left 5 people dead, among them an off-duty police officer.
The nightmare of every community has come to Raleigh.
Police say the shooter opened fire along a walking trail yesterday around 5 p.m. and then escaped officers for several hours before finally being taken into custody.
This neighborhood is probably one of the biggest neighborhoods I've ever seen, and then there is a very long trail behind it with tons of woods, so there is plenty of places to hide, which is terrifying.
Police say they captured the suspect at a residence, describing him as an underage white male.
You pray that something like this will never happen here. It did.
I'm very concerned about my safety going forward. I've never seen so many cops. I'm shaking and terrified to go home and sleep tonight.
A canine officer was also shot and taken to the hospital, but has since been released and is expected to recover.
This is a senseless, horrific, and infuriating act of violence.
Investigators are still trying to determine a motive. And this tragedy marks the 25th mass killing in the U.S. this year, which have been especially hard on law enforcement. In incidents across the nation in just the last week, 7 officers have been injured by gunfire. 5 have been killed. Again, police are planning to share more details on their investigation during a news conference at 8:30 this morning. John and Abby?
All right, Naomi Ruckham live for us this morning with more on this terrible situation here. There has been an outpouring of support for the city of Raleigh and its police department.
Sharon Hayes monitoring the reaction on social media this morning. Joining us in the Alert Center now, Sharon, so what are you learning?
Well, as we've just reported, one of those killed was an off-duty Raleigh police officer, and a Raleigh canine officer was also injured, but we've learned from officials that he was treated and released from the hospital last night. Now, as for the other 4 who died, we don't know their identities at this time or the identity of the other person who was injured, just that they're facing critical condition. Now, I do want to go ahead and pull up my Twitter here because those reactions are pouring in. The National Fraternal Order of Police tweeting, asking for prayers for the fallen officer and the other victims. Meanwhile, heading over to Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Chief Johnny Jennings, he also tweeted his condolences and said, when any law enforcement agency experiences a tragedy, the whole profession hurts. Meanwhile, the police chief in Durham, Patrice Andrews, tweeted, simply heartbroken, thinking of Chief Estella Patterson as she navigates the unthinkable. Now, Patterson is Raleigh's police chief. She was away at a profession conference, but was on a flight back overnight. You may remember she served as a deputy chief at CMPD for years before taking the top spot in Raleigh. Now, we are expecting a news conference in Raleigh at about 8:30 this morning, where the chief and others are expected to provide a little bit more information about the suspect in this case and also those who lost their lives. Of course, we will carry that for you live on WBTV.com or wherever you stream our services. Sharon Hayes reporting live in the Alert Center. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Sharon, thank you. This is a story that we're going to be following for the days to come. And again, that update at 8:30 from police.
And for the newest information into the newsroom, just download our WBTV News app by searching WBTV in your app store, and we'll notify you the moment we learn anything new on this investigation.